Okay, today we're going to work on the place command with Otis here, and I have just some deli meat, and hopefully it's a little breezy today and I'm outside, so hopefully you'll be able to hear my voice as I talk you through how we train a dog to go to the place command. It's really just like any training. You reward when they do the right thing, and we just correct them when they do the wrong thing, if they break the command. So of course he smells, he's pretty hungry. He hasn't eaten breakfast yet today, and I like to work with dogs, and especially Otis here, when he's nice and hungry before a meal time, and that helps him really be more motivated to work for treats. And we got a special treat today. We got some deli meat, and he is already can smell it, so he's already kind of anticipating what we might be doing and just sort of sitting for me nicely. And we have worked with him a little bit in the place command already, so he does kind of know it, but I'll try to show you how we do it so that it's kind of like the first time you might ever show your own dog. And also, if he just needs a refresher, he'll be able to kind of start back from zero, and you can get him back into the flow of things and sort of remembering the commands. With any kind of training, that even if a dog already knows it, it's kind of you use it or you tend to lose it if you don't do it regularly. So I'll show you how we get him to go from kind of nothing to doing the place command, hopefully every time for you very consistently. So you can use a leash and attach it to him, which maybe I'll do. Otis, let's hook him up here real quick. Otis, sit. Good boy. And we'll hook a leash on just to show, even though I don't probably really need it for him, I do want to show you can easily bring them back in, or if you have a dog that tends to wander quickly, you can bring him back in with the leash. So we'll get out some treats here, and you can definitely use dry treats. This is what I would call a high value treat, something that he's really going to want to work hard for. You can see he's already sitting, he's being a very good boy. So we're going to try to get him to get onto the place, which in this case is just a corunda bed, a little dog cot, and he's already pretty excited. So we're just going to kind of guide him over to it, point, even help lead him with the leash a little bit. And when he gets on to the place, that's a good thing. So we're just going to reward him by just simply saying yes, and then giving him a treat. And we're going to give him the command at the same time to tell him what he should do just before he should do it. So Otis, come here. Ready? Place. Yes. And we give him a treat. He's in the command right now. If he steps off, I'm going to say, no. Place. Yes. And what you just saw, even though he just broke it right away, perfect, is what we want to do with dogs, whether they've never heard this command ever, or if they just need a little refresher and a little practice to get back in the swing of things. You give him the command. If he breaks it, you simply say, no. A nice stern tone of voice helps. No. Let him know he did the wrong thing. We guide him back, and then we give him the command again. We don't let him get away with it. We don't say, oh, well. If you let him get away with it, you don't correct it, he's going to think that that is the rule, is that it doesn't matter if he stays out here or not when he hears that word. So I'll hold it for just a second. And you can give him a little corrections to help him know not to step off. Nope. Place. And he's staying. Perfect example. Can't expect a dog to hold this forever, but you know, we work up in increments to longer amounts of time. So I like starting with a leash. That helps you guide him back, not let him get too far away. It's good to work indoors, obviously, with this command, any room, and then you can, of course, extend this command to work in other places in your house. Take it outside, take a mat with you, work on different surfaces that might not be the exact same surface, but it's going to help to work with the same surface each time. So once he's held the command for a minute or so, we're going to release him with the OK command, and we're going to tell him to come on off. So I'm going to pet his head, doing a good job. Otis, okay. Good job, very good. That was great. You did a good job. Then we can hang out and pet his head. Don't tell him to do anything in particular, and make it a fun time, and then we can get out the treat again. I'm just gonna do a little grooming here for him and see what he's got going on, his morning sleepy seeds and things like that. And then we're gonna get out another treat here, and we'll just practice again. And you can do it again and again a few times until they kind of lose interest. It's better to end on a high note, or make sure that the training session is fun, and don't keep working them until they get stressed out and don't want to do it anymore. If they're just not interested anymore, take the training session for another time, another day. You don't have to just keep working them through the point of where they've lost interest. But dogs have, especially young dogs like Otis here, they only have so long of an attention span, and then they need to move on to other things and have a good time and go play, or go take a rest, or go eat some food, things like that. So anyway, we'll just get out the treat again. And I want to make sure he doesn't anticipate what we're doing. So if he gets on that place on his own, I'm not going to reward him. I'm going to tell him to come off, and then I'm only wanting to really do it when I tell him to. So Otis, come on, place. Yes, good place. I reward him when he does the right thing. He's on. I want to make sure all of his body is on the place as well. Yeah, I'm okay with some paws hanging over the front. Some people might be a little bit more strict. No. Place. Very good. Sometimes I do like to just throw a little hand signal up there, kind of like the stay command. I don't want to confuse this with the stay command though. Stay is really different while you're out walking. Stay for a short time, you know, maybe 30 seconds or so, or a minute. Place is more long term, and I really want it to be its own command. So I try not to, it's tempting to, because it's so common. No. Place. There we go. And it's just doing the same thing like this over and over again. But I'm not going to tell him to stay. I don't want him to tell him to lay down. I want him to be able to do anything he wants. He tends to just lay down anyway. Even if you tell him to sit, it's just sort of natural for him. And I kind of just try to work with it with Otis here. So I try not to add the stay command to the place command, because we really use that as a little bit differently. But just the place command means to get on this bed. And so we start with having the leash, luring him over to it, and rewarding him as soon as he's doing the command correctly. I don't want to reward him before he gets on the bed. I don't want to reward him just because he stepped on the bed and stepped off the bed. I want him to get there, stay there. And he can sit, he can stand, he can walk around in circles for all I care. That's all okay as long as he's on the place. And then we just don't want to leave him here too long. We want to make sure it's fun. And we'll tell him, Otis, okay, good job, very good job. That was good, good sit. Good job, Otis. Okay, okay, we can just have some fun. We can just be free. And then I also like to add the place command. You know, if you're just standing a foot away from him while he's in place, chances are he'll be an expert at it and hold it very long. What I want to do is add a little more distance to the command. So we'll see if we can get him to, now he knows the game that we're playing. Let him kind of sniff the tree, what we're doing, and I'm just going to tell him, and I'm not going to guide him with the leash. I'm going to try not to anyway. Otis, ready? Place. Place. He's not quite ready for it yet. Otis, place. Yes. Good job. And then, and I like doing that as just a little correction. You know, that sort of sound just helps him know that he's about to do something wrong. And it's good to watch his body language, try to anticipate before he completely breaks the command. And, you know, you can just give him a little gentle reminder with the, you know, sort of, you know, that kind of a sound really helps him let them know that they're not doing something correct right now. He's doing very good. It's totally cool to just pat his head and say, you're a good boy, you did a good job. Good job. Sometimes, let him work it out. Good job, you're staying right there. And it's good to reward him even periodically. Just give him another one. Yes, good job, very good place. And then I'll see if I can take a step away. I want to tell him, don't get up, you know. Let him know I'm stepping out of the frame a little bit. He's being very good. I'm going to take a few steps back the other way, out of sight here. He can still see me though. And away. And he's doing good, so I'm just going to reward him, even though he hasn't done anything different. I haven't given him the command again. Just good job. Yes, he's doing the right thing. And this is to help him associate that the command gets the reward, and as long as he stays there. Good job, buddy. Good job. And then I'm going to release him. I'm going to say, good job. Otis, okay. Good job. Very good, Otis. So now we're gonna play the game. We're probably just gonna do it a few more times, and then we'll be, done for this training session. And we'll try it again maybe this evening. We'll do a little bit more of the place work, and I'll probably do it in the same place so he gets conditioned to it. And then after another time, I'll probably take it and move it to a different room in the house. And then we'll practice some more. So then he gets the idea that it's the place. It's not just out here on the deck or wherever he's starting to learn it. And then maybe tomorrow we'll take the bed outside. We'll try to place outside somewhere. And I'm not going to reward this. Even though he's laying down, it's fine. I'm happy to have him laying down, but I don't want to just give him a reward because I didn't really give him a command. In fact, if I wanted to start teaching him, working on doing some drills and practicing place again, I wouldn't just start from him being here. I'd take him off, and then I would put him back in the place. So I want to try one other thing. I want to try sitting down while I have him in the place, because it helps. Some dogs are going to associate me just standing here as part of the command, as part of the verbal cue, but I want to start getting him used to that. I could be sitting down, I could be standing up, I could be running away. I don't want him to break it unless I say the release order is okay. So, Otis, come on. Good boy. Ready? We're going to try it again, buddy. Ready? Place. Good job. Yes, very good job. I'm going to wait him out, and I'm going to see what happens when I sit down in this chair here. I'm going to see if he tends to break it. Good place, buddy. Let's get, place. It's being very good. I'm going to sit down. See if that confuses him at all. I'll give him a little reminder if I have to. Place. Good job. Yeah, I'm going to get a little more comfortable, I think. And relax. And something a little more advanced, what we'd work on maybe after a few more days of practicing with no distractions out here, is I would then add, so I'll add more distance. I'll try to get him to go into the command from further away. I will try to walk further away. I'll try to walk outside of his line of sight, maybe peek behind a wall and then come back out. Make sure, place. Place. And this is just the simple way to keep on practicing. Some dogs are going to have a lot harder time to focus, and they're going to want to get up and they're going to want to run away. If they really don't want to stand here at all, it might be time to maybe just try it at a different time when they're not so energetic. But this is pretty much Otis's pace all the time. So get them at a time when they're kind of relaxed. It'd be good. Make sure they're hungry. And we just do this again and again and again. And I promise you, after just 2 days, even 3 days of doing this, he will be able to dive bomb onto this place from across the room. You can tell him the place. He might even just hear the words say, just in passing, you might be talking with somebody and you say the word place, and he might associate that to go jump onto his bed. I've seen dogs do that many times. So we would keep working like this. I'm sitting down. I like what I'm seeing. I'm not going to keep him here forever, but I do want to work up to a point where I can keep him here for 20 minutes or so in the place command before I release him. And the way I'd add some distance, so we talked about getting out of sight, a little bit further away, getting him to go into the place. After distance, I want to add distractions. So I would, after I feel like he's mastered this with no distractions, I would add in maybe another dog. We'd have a dog walk by. I'd have one of our other trainers walk by, or I'd have somebody knock on the door, and I would do the same thing. Just like as if he got up, I would correct him, no, put him back in the place command if he broke it because he heard a sound. I don't want him to break it for any reason. In fact, the end goal is that I could put him in a place, have somebody ring the doorbell or knock on the door, invite them in the house, have Otis or the dog still sitting in the place command before I release him to allow him to greet the guests or not greet the guests if they don't want to be greeted by a dog. And he can get that reliable if and only if you keep practicing and adding it up, distance, adding distractions to the command so that he's proofed, so to speak, and can do this command with anything else in the world going on. But you got to practice, and it's going to take not just learning from me, but doing the same thing as the new handler is to practice just like how I'm practicing with Otis here. Of course, by the time he goes home to you or to the new family, he is going to hopefully be very good at this and hopefully not need a lot of refreshing, but should just be able to start doing it for you. And it's going to be important for you to continue to practice it. Even if you're practicing only once a week for a few minutes at a time, it's going to help him remember and keep that refreshed so that it's ready to go for you whenever you do want to use the command. So I'm going to go ahead and release him. Otis, okay, Good job. Yes, very good boy. He's a good boy. Yes. You want to do it one more time? Ready, Otis? Place. He doesn't quite get the concept yet that it's actually on there. But place. Yes. Again and again, we're just going to reward him. As soon as he gets onto that place, he's hanging out, he's not getting off. Otis. Place. We're going to do this again and again, and it may seem like he might not be grasping it as fully as, but I promise you, after just a few sessions, few different sessions, not just a few times in a row in the same, training session, but if I do this 2 days in a row, maybe have 3 or 4 training sessions for 10 minutes apiece, by tomorrow this time, the next day, he will be ready. He probably will just, every time he sees this bed, he'll probably just want to jump on it, hoping he gets a treat. But I'm not going to give him a treat unless I've actually put him in the command, giving him the verbal command. So he's doing very good. I can leave him here for a while, and I'm sure he would hold it for at least 5 minutes without too many distractions. I'll try to just take a step away, add a little distance to it. Lots of things can give a dog the cue that it's time to be released, and we don't want him to get released unless I give him the okay word. But sometimes sitting down does it, which is why I try to practice while sitting down. Sometimes just turning my back to the dog can give them the cue that they should be getting up and breaking the command. But we want to make sure that we turn our backs to them, squat down, see, no, place, very good, good job. So he tends to think that if I squat down, it means come on over to me, because I usually use the come command while squatting down. It helps kind of invite them over. So I want to make sure that I'm practicing the place command. I correct it even though I squatted down. I'm going to try it again. Let's just see if he learned anything. I'm going to anticipate, wait till he's kind of looking at me so he doesn't get surprised and see me sitting down. I'll give him just a second. I want to make sure he sees me squatting down. We're going to correct him again if he comes over. Stay over there. No. He's being very, very good. Let's see if I can get in the frame here. Yeah, usually this tells the dog to come on over, but I want him to hold that place, even through other cues that might seem like it. I wonder if I could lay on the ground. Really good. Place. Notice? No. Place. I like to try to think of lots of different scenarios that might give him the idea that he can break this command and correct him. All it is doing something that you think might get him to, want to break the command, practicing it, and if he breaks it, you simply correct him, say no, put him back in the command. And after a few repetitions, he'll get conditioned to the idea that whether I sit down, whether I lay down, whether I spin around, jump around in circles, run away, it doesn't matter. He should not break them. But you got to kind of go through all those possible scenarios to really make a dog solid with this command. He's just doing, as far as I can see, very, very good. A few more days, and he's going to be at the expert level, I think, for the place command. And then we'll try taking it outside, other places, around lots of distractions. I think he's going to do great. And I don't want to overextend him too much. Let's give him a little reward. Okay. You rushed just a little bit, but I'm going to allow that one. I'm not going to punish you too much for that one. You did good, buddy. You did good. Good job, Otis. All right, so there's the place command and how to get a dog to do it.